Alright guys, so welcome along then to Albert Park for our first official esports event for the All-Stars Racing F1 League. We did already finish pre-testing race, so that's gonna be good. Everyone should be well acquainted to the F1 2020 game by now. Alright guys, so we officially have cars going out on track for qualifying. Let's get some stats up on screen and let's see what everyone is going to be doing here on the new game. Thought we had some problems for a second there. It wasn't switching camera view, but we're good. Yeah guys, so welcome to Albert Park, home of the Australian Grand Prix. Pretty interesting race we always have here. First race of the season. Pretty high-paced track actually. Some interesting corners, a lot of overtaking opportunities. The track now has 3 DRS zones. So it should be pretty interesting to see how that works out. Some very close corners as well, a lot of barriers. Pretty close to the both sides of the track, so a safety car is not out of the question here. The guys did have a pretty fun race at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. That was for the pre-season testing race that we did. It was actually an excellent race there. So hopefully we have a much more of an interesting race here at Australia for our opening race of the season and the beginning of, let's see who's going to take the Constructors and who's going to take the Drivers' Championship at the end of this season. So just a little bit of new graphics on the F1 2020 game. It's been interesting so far, playing both online and offline personally for me, I have to say. And I don't know, I just like a lot of the other added features that they have. They have added a driver of the day feature on it, so at the end of the entire race we'll see who the game picks to be the driver of the day. Also they have added a pit stop strategy, predicted pit stop strategy. I'm not sure how useful that is actually compared to what the guys actually use, but we'll see how that works out. Because the preseason race that we did was the first race actually I did online. I was streaming it to actually tinker with that just a little bit to see what's going on. So it's just down to 14, just under 15 minutes left now. Just started qualifying, so we're gonna start to see some lap times being posted here pretty soon. That's the new livery on the Haas for F1 2020. So far we have 13 drivers out on track. I'm not sure if we'll be getting any additional drivers joining before the race actually begins. We'll see how that goes. Haas going a little wide. That was Artemis. Gotta say though, it has been just a little bit of an improved graphics. Oh, and that was Artemis into the wall, just a little bit losing the end plate, left end plate on his front wing. Definitely gonna have to pit for that. Not too good. So we got Jonathan up in P1 right now, 122.5, and CB with a 124.2 is in P2. Artemis, he posted a 124. Alright, so we got some lap times coming in now, so let's just wait as the field does post their times, and let's see who's going to be in P1 coming down the grid all the way to P13. Milan losing half of his front wing there. So the DRS has changed just a little bit in terms of the graphics that we usually see on screen. So it does show you when you're about to get DRS, you actually know if you're within a second or not, because you see a shades of something just going down, counting down to how close you get to the DRS line, so you know that you'll be able to activate it or not. I've seen they actually added a what do you call it? A DRS assist. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure why they put that. I guess if you don't want to press the DRS button, if you get it, it just automatically goes on. I don't know. I guess some people still will use that. It's just much more fun to just be able to use all the controls on your own. So yeah guys, I'm looking forward to seeing our first race, how it goes. That's BP getting to the side so everyone can get by. That's MX into the pits. So at least half of the grid have posted some lap time so far. Pretty interesting qualifying so far, guys. Still about 12 minutes to go. So these guys are going to get into the pits, repair any damage that they have, and get out back on track and post some more times. Hopefully to get higher up in the starting grid as they can, because we are just doing a short qualifying. And that was New Potato with a 121.7. Pretty good time in our Red Bull. Good job on him. Matt Riley did a 121.6. Excellent job on him so far. He is in P1. Pretty good driver. Jordan is down in P3 with a 122.5. Batterby is P4 with a 122.9. We got Duncan in P5, 123. So he's the first of the 123.5. CB in P6, so 124. And Artemis Milan, Milan is down in a 138. He had a pretty bad lap, but he's definitely going to be trying and getting a much faster lap than that. We're used to seeing this guy much higher up on the field back in F1 2019. Let's see how it's going to be for F1 2020. The livery of the Renault does look pretty, how should I say this? Kind of similar to last year. Just minor changes, I guess. I still haven't checked this out as yet to see what they're doing about the black livery for the Mercedes. Is it going to be added for PS4 or not? I'm not sure. I know for PC the guys are modding it into the game, so they have the black Mercedes on that. But for now we're going to say with the silver. Okay, so we have Milan on another outlap here. He's going to be going for a hot lap pretty soon, and let's see how well he does. Hopefully he doesn't lose his front wing again. MX is also on another outlap. I think it is in Milan and MX as teammates here. Yes, they are. Got Beefy up in P1 now. Took Matt Riley's place. 121.2. Very good lap off of Beefy there. That pushes everyone down the field, just one position down now. Riding on board with MX as he goes for his lap. He has his teammate coming, Milan coming behind him on his hot lap as well. The second Youth has retired from the session. That is it for him. He has not posted a lap time, which means he will be starting P13. Now let's see if anyone else will retire without setting a lap time. A few things have changed about this track. Personally, I can tell you guys, in terms of grip and where you do lose it or sometimes gain it on this track, it is pretty interesting how they do change some of this stuff. But it doesn't really take that long for drivers to usually adapt to this. Just a few laps and they know what has changed, what has not changed with the track. Milan with a 138 still. So just about two drivers. We got T-Pang and MX still yet to post any lap times for this session. 8 minutes left to go, guys. And that is Milan doing what he does. He now has a 120.7, which puts him in P1, the only 120 on the grid. Beefy is now down to P2, though is 121.2. We got Matt Riley on an outlap, Beefy on an outlap. Duncan and CB as well are both on outlaps going right now. We got T-Pong in his AlphaTauri going. He has just started his outlap, so he's not on hot lap as yet. So guys, just MX and T-Pong are yet to post any lap times as they are way down in the grid. Milando, excellent lap from him for his 120.7. If it stays this way, he'll be starting P1. As we go on board with T-Pong now for his lap, and let's see where he slots in on the grid after this lap here. I've known T-Pong to be a pretty good driver. I expect him to be a little more up on the grid with his lap time, provided he doesn't invalidate this. Just 5.5 minutes left to go. Qualifying been pretty interesting so far. Potato in P4 now with a 121.7. Duncan with a 121.9 in P5. Jonathan is now way down. Battery is more down as well. CB is in P10 with 124. Really needs to improve on that one. Jay also has a 123.5 in P9. He could improve on that as well. Quite sure they will try. Last few corners here for T-Pong now, and let's see what kind of time he gets. He does seem to be doing a pretty good lap here. But let's see how good it is. And it's a 122.7. That puts him up into P8. He might be going for a second go in this lap here, guys. I don't think T-Pong is going to want to start 8. Got Milan going out for another outlap as well, just trying to save himself just in case someone beats his time, I guess. Just under 4 minutes left in qualifying. MX is struggling just a little bit to set a lap time. I think he's going on another hot lap here. Let's follow him around the track. Not exactly riding on board, but let's see how he does. Got New Potato, Artemis, and Jonathan on an outlap as well. Let's see if those guys can improve. And Duncan is out of this session. So he's left with his 121.9. Also worth noting, guys, if you haven't played F1 2020 as yet, the cars are extremely faster than from F1 2019. Everyone's been saying it. I've experienced it, so I can't say it's not true. It is so much fun driving in these online lobbies now. Not that it wasn't fun before, but it's so much fun, more fun now. So MX did go a little wide on that turn. That might affect his lap time here. Hey, Noble Society. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. You know, I said I will do something and I forgot to do it actually, but I really gotta try and do it after this session here. I was supposed to put the entire calendar in the description of the esports videos. Okay, wonderful. So MX is up into 7th. CB is now 12th. Got T-Pong on another outlap. I really cannot wait for these guys to get this race started. We just have 1.5 minutes left to go in qualifying, and then we get on to the first official race for the season for F1 2020 for the All-Stars Racing F1 League. I think they're still connected with their sponsor, Gaming Guru. Got Beefy and Matt Riley going back on outlaps as well. They are going to be trying to beat Milan on that P1 there. That is not too long of a run getting into turn 1 here at Australia, so you really want to be in a best of starting position that you can getting on that run going down to turn 1, because it is a pretty interesting turn. There's not a lot of room for multiple cars to go on that turn at the same time. You're either going on the inside or you're going to be going wide around a car if you're trying to make a move going on that turn. Now, if you're dive bombing it, you're definitely going to be going wide and probably coming back on track, getting hit, or you're going to be in a tangle with someone losing your front wing. So is it worth doing? We will see how everyone tackles that turn 1 coming up very shortly as we come to the end of qualifying here. So only driver not yet posted a time is Mistaken Youth. We will wait for the final results table to see where everyone starts this race. As qualifying is now over, and that is T-Pound into a wall. The session will draw to a close now, guys, as we will get into the race and to the formation lap. I think formation lap should be on. Usually it is. And let's see how guys do when it's lights out. So Matt Riley in that McLaren. We haven't focused too much on him in qualifying. Maybe we'll be focusing on him more in the race, as he looks like he'll be starting P3. Okay, so that is it for qualifying here in our part of Australia. and we will get straight into the race now. So here's our starting grid. It's Milan in P1, Beefy P2, Matt Riley P3, New Potato P4, Duncan is P5, Arton is P6, Jonathan P7, MX P8, T-Pang P9, Battery P10, J P11, CB P12, and Mistaken Youth in P13. That is it for our starting grid, guys. So it's Ferrari, Renault, and McLaren. It does seem we're disconnected, guys. We should be on back in a second. First time this is happening on F1 2020. Alright guys, we're joining back. Make sure we click on spectate and not ready up, otherwise will be a car on grid for us as well. As happened multiple times on F1 2019, and I didn't realize why that was happening, because I just hurried to get back on the session, and that's usually happening. Anyway, we won't be missing the race, guys. It's just the formation lap that will be going on right now if we're missing anything, and that's about it. So we'll be online back again for the race start, so no need to worry. Apologize again. I did restart the system before we got started, and this shit still happens. Alright guys, so that's the cars off on the formation lap there. They just begun that. So they'll be going around the track, warming up their tires. As they do so, we will just set our graphics back on, what's up? Which one is it? Position change, stops, tire. That's it. We will leave it on full track map, just so you can see where everyone is, even though when I'm focusing on something else. And that's about the all graphics we need. Artness has been disqualified. Not sure what happened there. Maybe that should be fixed by the time we do get back to the starting grid with the guys. Sometimes crap happens in the game. Codemasters has not fixed everything as yet. They still have the minor things happening on the online lobbies. I'm not sure if he just got disconnected and just got left on the starting grid, because that's where his car is, if you can see on the minimap going. So guys, one of the new features added, I should mention, as we're going around the track here, still about halfway left for the guys to go, is the ERS system. In F1 2019, you had about 5 different settings when you're driving manual on that, and man was it a job to control that. But it is a little more difficult for some guys compared to others in F1 2020, and there is predictive pit stop strategy. I'm not sure if that's actually what the guys are using there, because that's something Codemaster just added into the game. However, if you look at on the bottom right hand side, you'll see it says overtake and ERS 100%. So we do now have a overtake button that we use for the ERS. So you're just using about two different settings with it now. And if it's off, down, there it's off. But you're using 2 settings with it. It does burn out pretty quickly, but does give the car an excellent boost for you to go for an overtake move. So you gotta really know how to control your ERS going through a race. Also managing fuel and tires all coming in at the same time. You do have to be good with all of this stuff to do Formula 1 racing here. At this level, you do need to actually know this stuff. So pretty good of Codemasters to add that in. It's a little easier now for a lot of people to control their ERS in terms of taking it up a little bit to get a little boost, but of course you got to watch how fast it's going to burn out and when exactly to use it and not to use it, because you use it the wrong time, it might just make you spin. It depends. Alright guys, so we are just ready to get going here. And that's 5 lights, and they're up, and here we go guys. Let's see who's getting a good start here. We do have some positions being changed as we go along here. I'm not sure if guys have been disconnected or not. Oh, and that's Artemis. Oh, we have some serious accidents happening here, guys. That is MX into a wall there. Not 100% clear to us what has just happened, but we do have some serious swerving from Matt Riley out in front there. Well, guys, so this kind of did, something is happening right now. It did happen at the Zandvoort Grand Prix that we did too on the stream. Positions are changing like crazy on the screen, and it's not exactly what's happening in the race right now. So we have to just give that a minute just to settle itself so we can see exactly what's going on. So it does, okay, so I think we have a safety car. We do have a safety car for one of the multiple incidents that has happened into the first lap of this race. So very interesting first lap for Australia right now. And CB is out of the race. We got Milan going into the pits. He's in P1. Got Beefy going in as well. Matt Riley now is in P1 because of that. So a few pit stops happening here, guys, because there were quite a few incidents we actually saw happen on the first lap going on it there. Got a wing change for mistaken you there. T-Pound is in the pits as well. MX does seem to have quite a bit of damage going. He is going to be going into the pits as well here. Matt Riley out in front following the safety car as everyone now lines up. I really don't think that crap that they put makes any sense. That's not a predictive pit stop strategy really, but it's there. Alright guys, so I think the graphics are settled. I don't know why that happened at the first. I think something Codemasters need to fix. If there's a way for me to report it, I will. But there does seem to be a multiple change happening with the positions when the race starts and then it goes normal. So it was a little confusing to understand who was actually getting into contact with who on the first lap going. But as this time, we got Matt Riley in P1, we got Potato in P2, Doc in P3. Quite a few guys had to take pit stops because of damages caused. Even Milan, who was in P1, now down into P6. Let's see how well he's going to catch up when the safety car goes in, which should be on lap 3 at least. Matt Riley driving pretty close to the safety car there, just trying to keep tires warm as they go around. So CB is definitely out of the session. We're going to have to assume that the incident caused for the safety car was him. Not sure what happened to him exactly, but there was, maybe when we watch it back I'll have a look, but it was a little confusing. I was just looking at the lineup on the left hand side to see what was going on exactly there. I was a little bit strange because usually when we're on the P1 drive at the start of a race, we're on the front view, but we are on the back view of it. So it's a little bit different. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I got to try and get a better look at the start as we go with it, continuing from the next race. Anyway guys, this is the lineup as we go behind the safety car, which should be probably coming in by this lap here. So it's Matt Riley P1. We got Potato P2, Jonathan is P3, Jay P4, Artemis P5, Milan down to P6 up. He was in P1, Beefy is P7 now. He had to go into pits behind Milan as well, because they were all involved in some sort of incident going into turn 1 and 2. And Duncan P9, mistaking you P10, T-Pound down to P11, MX all the way down to P12 now. So most of the guys running behind have now changed their tires, that's why they are there. Front runners are the ones that probably didn't get any damage, so didn't have to change, or maybe minor damage and just didn't change. Anyway, we do have a very interesting start to Australia. As I said in the beginning when we started qualifying, guys, you cannot leave a safety car incident out of this track. There's always going to be something happening that might cause a safety car. So first race of the season, and we're barely, well, it was lap 1 that we had the safety car from. I haven't seen the graphics shown as yet. That's when the safety car is going to be in. It does show what the safety car will be in this lap at the bottom of the screen. when that's about to happen, so we will know. Okay, there it is. Safety car is in this lap. We are on lap 3, riding on board with Matt Riley right now. Everyone is lined up behind each other right now going. He is going to be holding them up just a little bit as the safety car goes off into the distance here. Being the leader out in front, you do get to control the pack behind of you, how much to hold them up. Of course, everyone's going to want to get going as soon as possible here because it's quite a few more turns to get to the starting line to get past to go back racing again. And Matt Riley going pretty slowly, with still a few more corners to go. The safety car is now heading straight into the pit lane. It is off track and we are about to get back to racing here. Alright guys, here we go. And we are back to racing. They have crossed the line, so here we go. Going down into turn 1. Seems clean so far for the front runners. Decent amount of gap between the cars down at the back. I think Neil Potato is getting pretty close to Matt Riley. Of course, Jonathan is chasing him down in that car as well. He is an AlphaTauri, so pretty decent pace out of that car going so far. Pretty good driving. No more incidents since the safety car has ended. Going on lap 4. Just keeping looking eye on the front of the pack right now, guys, but we are looking at the interval time between everyone right now to see how close they are. We'll know exactly there is a battle going on. Jonathan seems to be just a little bit close to Potato, but he's getting up the gap up to a second now. But then we have Neil Potato getting very close to Matt Riley. He might be trying for a move here pretty soon. So just following this battle out in front, guys. Maybe a few close gaps down at the back. And everyone's switching between fastest lap right now. Alright, everyone decently gets around. The first few turns are going into lap 5 now. And Matt Riley might have been disconnected from the game because his car has slowed down significantly with 2 cars getting past. That's Neil Potato and Jonathan getting past him. He is now down to P3. His car is ghosted, which most likely means he has been disconnected from the lobby. I'm just assuming right now. We're not 100% sure on that. Milan is already up to P3. Man, this guy is out so fast. This is BP following Milan down the line going. Let's go see how fast Milan is going to catch up to Jonathan out in front him. We got pretty close a gap between Duncan and Batterby right now as well. As we watch these guys go at it. We're just going to keep an eye on the view of the front runners to see when that battle gets a little bit closer, and we will join them again. However, I'm just looking at how close Duncan is getting to Batterby right now. Because he does get pretty close going into that corner, just a little bit wide. Yeah, I think Matt Riley might have been disconnected. His car just keeps getting further and further down the grid going. Everyone is going past as he is ghosted. So most likely that is what happened. But we'll have confirmation of that maybe at the end of the race or later on down in the session. It's a shame to see CB out of this race, first race of the season. Sorry to see you out, man. But let's see how this is going. So that's Duncan past Matt Riley now. Milan is about half a second behind Jonathan right now, trying to catch up. He is in P3 going. He did went down quite a bit, a few positions from P1 after the safety car incident. Riding on board, he does seem to be getting pretty close to Jonathan right now. The gap is just around half a second, going up just a little bit. That Neil Potato out in front. Yeah, Milan does seem to be getting pretty close. He is closing the gap as pretty fast going down. He might be getting a good run into turn and down the pit straight that is here going. And he does get DRS using all, well, just a little bit of overtake that he has left. And he might be going for a move here. Let's see if he can get that done. And Milan does hold on to P2. He is now back up into P2. I don't think Jonathan is going to let that go that easily though. He is, Beefy is coming back at him. Does get past, but can he hold that position going around? Yes, he does for the time being. So that's Milan back down to P3. He did make it to P2 but lost it back to Beefy there. Potato out in front, pretty decent gap, 3.2 seconds off of Beefy in P2 right now. With the battle going on for P2, he did take advantage of that and get out just a little bit out in front, building a gap just a little bit. MX has retired from the session, so that's 3 drivers out now. We did not get to see when Mistaken You got out, but we do have a VSC. We have a virtual safety car. Someone just went into the pits for that incident, trying to get a free pit stop. So MX is out, Mistaken Youth is out, and CB has been out since the start of this race with the incident on turn 1 on lap 1. Virtual safety car should be ending pretty soon. That was Jonathan down into the pits. I think Matt Riley might still be disconnected. Yeah, he's still ghosted. I'm not sure what's happening with his car right now. A few bugs still in the game. DRS is back online and we are back racing again. So T-Pang is currently P7 running on hards. I'm not sure if he's going to the end of the race on those. We'll try to see how far he'll make it with that. We got New Potato still out in front with 3.1 second lead off of Beefy right now. Let's see how that is going out front with Beefy and Milan now, because just about half a second Milan is behind him right now. Does have DRS going down this straight, so that's going to allow him to get just a little bit closer going down. He might be getting DRS again on the pit straight and might be going for a move on turn 1. All depends who's going to be getting a better exit coming off the last corner here now. Beefy just picked up a little bit of a dirt. So Milan has DRS again. He's not using that little bit of overtake he has. Keeping it for just maybe going around this straight coming down now. And he has DRS. He is going to use the overtake now. He's going to try and get a move done on Beefy. Let's see if he can get that done. I don't think he's quite close enough. No, he is not. Matt Riley all the way down to P10 right now. We started with 13 drivers. We're left with 10. I think Matt Riley might still be disconnected. I haven't checked the Discord to have a look at it yet. Just trying to see what's happening on track. Pretty close gap between Milan and Beefy still. So it's Ferrari car versus Renault, I guess, here. Darkness with a 3-second time penalty for warnings. As you know, guys, rules are on strict. You cannot cut the track, so and they did actually make the corner cutting rules a little bit stricter on F1 2020. So any minor slip and you do cut the track, get a penalty for it. Too much warnings and we know what happens. Gap out in front with New Potato in that Red Bull is now 4.2 seconds. So he's running a pretty good race out in front. Milan is trying to get past Beefy to get to him right now. So we got, oh sorry, they switched to the wrong car. Here is Beefy in his Renault going. Milan is just a half a second behind of him. As you can see, the Ferrari coming around the straight there with him with DRS. Just doesn't have a lot of overtake to use right now. He might have to save it up for a few laps and then try for a go at him. Artness is the only car currently on soft tires right now. Maybe he has not been. Let's see how that has gone. So stops. So we got Jay and Artness, only two guys on track. Oh, New Potato as well, who are the only guys who have not taken a pit stop as yet. Everyone has taken at least one pit stop here. Yeah, one pit stop. Some guys did have to pit due to the incident on lap 1. And there are your position changes. New Potato gained 3. Beefy started right in second. Milan is down 2 positions because he started P1. Battery is up 6. Jay is up 6. Good job for them. Hopefully they can keep that through the race going. Duncan lost 1 position. T-Pound gained 3. That's pretty good. Artness lost 1. This is T-Pound going on Jay here right now, trying to get close enough to get a move done. He will getting the yes, he does have the DRS going on this straight, has enough overtake to use, and will be going for a move. That move should stick going on to turn 1 there. Yep. Good driving on T-Pound to getting a clean overtake done on that one. It's what we like to see. Someone keeps joining and leaving our lobby. I'm not sure if they can hear me, but if you are joining the lobby and you are not part of the league or not part of this session, please leave. Thank you. Kindly. Unless you have permission to join, then that's fine. Only saying this because I know sometimes guys join sessions because they're friends with someone and they're not part of the league, not supposed to be joining, and they kind of sometimes get in to mess things up. Crap happens, so that's why I'm saying it. As long as you have permission from the league, that's fine by me. And let's see what's going on out in front. So it's still Beefy and Milan going at this. Gap is still less than a second, which means Milan is getting DRS on him going all the time. So Beefy is doing some pretty decent driving, keeping him behind. Because Milan is not an easy guy to keep behind you. But Beefy is a pretty good driver as well. Been in like a few races with him. Guy is pretty fast. Got battery in P4, doing pretty well there. 10 laps on his mediums. T-Bang up P5. Has done 10 laps on the hards. Has quite a bit of way to go more though in this race. You might expect the hards to go down to the end, but I'm not sure about the medium. So we're still learning just a little bit on F1 2020 about how well the tires do fare in the race, because we know on F1 2019 they do kind of burn out in a certain limit, so you got to really know how to manage it on here. And it is much different from online compared to the driver career or the My Team career. One of the closest gap we had in this race so far. Matt Riley might have gotten back into the race, or he just got a position because, yeah, he's still running the same way. And Matt Riley has joined us again. He should be getting back on to his car pretty soon. He'll be able to take control and get back in the race. Of course, he's down all the way to P9, so he has a lot to make up for here when he does get connected again. Hopefully he'll be able to get some more points in the race. Top 10 will be getting points, of course. We only have 10 drivers left, so everyone is getting points. Of course, it is a new season, first race of the season. Everyone wants as much points as they can get, so we'll keep an eye on that. Not sure if he's connected back as yet, but hopefully he will be soon. Alright, so that's New Potato out in front. We got Beefy still in second, 4.8 seconds behind New Potato. Milan's still under a second behind Beefy, chasing him down right now. Battery is about 10 seconds behind these guys, so he might be trying to catch up and get in on that fight for P2. Of course, he might have T-Pound trying to catch up to him. Might be faster because T-Pound is just about 3.7 seconds behind him now. Jay another 1.5 seconds now behind T-Pound. That is Milan with another 3-second penalty. Also, guys, as usual from F1 2019 coming to F1 2020, we're going to see how the penalties play out down at the end of the race. Because we do know usually what happens, guys. You lose positions because of penalties, actually losing out on points. And this will affect your Drivers' Championship as well as the Constructors' Championship down at the end of the season. So let's see how well these guys do in terms of who has going to have the least amount of penalties here. Sometimes it's just unavoidable, but the guys do try to avoid it at all costs here. Jonathan just gained the position because Jay is now in the pits. Went on to mediums. Duncan also gained a position off of him. Got a yellow flag in sector 3. Probably someone just ran off the track just a little bit. That's okay. That's fine. They should be on and be fine to go again. So McNally might have not been connected back. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, he's connected. He's back online and racing. Welcome back to him. Sad to see what happened, but he's all the way down to P10 now. At least try to finish the race if you can. And at least score 1 point. But he'll be trying to get up to Artness, who is about 11 seconds in front of him. He's going in the pits now. Artness has already pitted, so that gap is going to increase just a little bit more. He's going on to mediums, which I assume will be taking him to the end of the race. It should. Okay, so Beefy is in the pits. That puts Milan out into P2. Let's see what's happening here exactly. Is it an... let's see if Milan can get around fast enough and then pit to get past him, or I don't know if Milan has to pit as yet or not, because his tires are 13 laps old. BP comes back out in 5th in front of Jonathan, who is about 5.6 seconds behind. Of course, Milan is going to be trying to close the gap down on the potato out in front in P1. He's about 4.8 seconds is the gap right now. Let's go on board and let's see how close he can get by the end of this lap. Leaf is breaking down the gap between himself and T-Pong right now, trying to get P4 and get back up here for the fight for P2. Milan keeping that gap at around 4.8 seconds off of Mika Peter right now. As that is going on, let's see how close Beefy is to T-Pound. That was Milan with the fastest lap for 125 on 14 lap old mediums, so he is driving pretty well, gotta say. This is Beefy chasing down T-Pound right now, keeping at least 50% of ERS to use for overtake. Seems to have a better exit out of turn 1 and 2, going for T-Pound here now. Getting his front wing pretty close to the rear tires of T-Pound right now. Might be trying for a move, has not gotten a gap to go for as yet. Desperately hoping for T-Pound to make some sort of mistake. Of course, both of these guys are pretty good drivers. Let's see who's going to come out at the end of this lap. So Beefy is on fresh mediums right now. T-Pound tires, he's on hards, and they're 14 laps old. A lot of wear on those tires, so not as much grip as Beefy right now. So let's see how well he defends. Beefy is definitely going to be trying for a move by the end of this lap. On board with BP. He does have DRS going down to this straight right now, which means we're going to have DRS on the pit straight as well. Might save all that overtake. Might have at least 70-75% of overtake going. Both of these guys just going onto the dirt just a little bit there. Getting pretty close to T-Pound. He's going to have a pretty good run going down to turn 1 here now. And he's using overtake and DRS at the same time here. Let's see how well this works. Should be able to get this done pretty decently. There we go. That puts Beefy back up to P4. T-Bang down in P5 now. Milan is still in P2. 4.6 seconds is the gap between himself and New Potato. Oh, hey Don, what's up? Glad you could join. So this was the esports events I was telling you to join on earlier when I was doing the stream. This is something we usually do on weekends. A lot of esports F1. So it's the same time every Saturday for whenever you're on. But I'll be getting to it later tonight. I gotta add this stuff into the channel so everyone knows exactly when the race is on. Alright, let's see how well the gaps are getting. So Battery, okay, so we got P1 and P2 out pretty decently out in front, but our tires are getting pretty worn out now. 17 and 16 laps, that's for New Potato and Milan. How well can they keep those tires going, or how longer can they keep it going? Because, and that was Beefy getting another position there. Off of Battery. Yes, it was. So he is fighting his way all the way back up, trying to get back to Milan to get back that position. But of course, he is 19.8 seconds off the lead of Milan right now. So he has to just wait for New Potato and Milan to try and make a pit stop here. Of course, both of them might be losing their positions depending on how far this is. New Potato might be able to get back P1 if he does pit, because that gap is about 23 and a half, let's call it 24 seconds. I think that's enough time for an Australia to go in and take a pit stop and come back in P1. Of course, he'll be right in front of PP if he does that. Milan, of course, is 19.5 seconds ahead. He is not going to be able to go in, make a pit stop, and get her back in time. This is going to be a very close call for Milan right now to get that P2 and hold it when he does do a pit stop here, because I don't think those tires are going to last all the way down to the end of the race. I might be wrong, but let's see how this goes. Because it is a 2020 game, the lifespan of the tires are a little bit different compared to F1 2019. Maybe it can last, because if what our graphics are showing us is correct, then J tires, his tires are soft and they're 21 laps old. How in the world has he kept that going so long? That's pretty interesting. So we're 23 laps now, he says. I'm not sure if the graphics is correct on the screen, but even if softs can go 23 laps, then definitely the mediums can go all the way to the end, another 10 laps. But let's see how well this goes. I'm not sure how it goes. I haven't done a full race on this online as yet, so I can't be able to tell you exactly. We're just working with what we see right now. But of course, if New Potato and Milan are not going to be pitting again, then of course they're going to be holding P1 and P2. And Beefy will have to try and break that 18-second gap down in the next 10 laps that he has left. At least in the next 9 laps, so at least have a chance to try and make an overtake off of Milan to get back P2. Pretty good race from Battery today, up in P4. 17 laps old, mediums he's running on. T-Town P5, running 17 laps hards. And man, if Jay is actually running 23 laps on those softs, then that is incredible. To see him going so long on those, that's pretty good tire management going on that, if that's true there. Of course, I just felt the graphics may be wrong, but it may be right, who knows. But if that's what's changed in the game so far, guys, if softs can really run this long, then it's actually pretty interesting to find that that's happening. Okay, and our two front runners have apparently changed tires, and and we have New Potato down in P2. Beefy just made a very serious advantage. He got off of those pit stops. He is now in P1 with New Potato in P2, Milan down in P3. So the gap was not enough for them to go in and make a fast pit stop and get out in time. Beefy did have to go on them. He is in P1. He might be holding that to the end of the race unless he makes a mistake. or if these guys can catch him and get an overtake down, because Meat Potato is now only 2.8 seconds off the lead of BP. We got Milan down with just about half a second behind Meat Potato now. So the top three guys running a pretty darn good race today for our first race here at Australia for round 1. Hey Gaming Guru, what is up? It is good to see some racing, I gotta admit, and this has been a pretty good race going so far. Actually a damn interesting race, if you can say. We had safety car on just on lap 1 with a pretty decent amount of incidents happening, but unfortunately we lost 3 drivers. We got MX out, Mistaken Youth and CB, they're out of this race. CB was out pretty early, too bad for that. Sad to see him be out of the race so early, man, but we still have 10 drivers left. All 10 will be getting points for the race. Of course, we got Jonathan up a position on Battery, because Battery is now in the pits. Man, I'm telling you, it just doesn't seem right that Jay can be on softs for 27 laps and is still running, and those tires are not gone. Those tires don't really last that long, do they? I have to have confirmation on that by the end of the race, if the graphics was wrong or if we were actually correct. I'll probably leave a pinned comment on the video to tell you whether those tires actually last that long in this race. So we got Nude Potato catching Beefy now, because now they are both, Nude Potato and both Milan and himself are on soft tires, so which means they have so much more grip and so much more traction on, Nude Potato almost losing it there. But he is getting pretty close to Beefy. He does not want to have that happening right now. Just under about 8 laps left to go here. He is getting right up to him right now, because so much more grip, so much more traction, and he's going to have going down this straight a lot more speed. Doesn't have a lot of overtake to use. He does have DRS. And let's see. I don't think he's going to be close enough to get a move done on this occasion. He might have to chase him down into the next hairpin coming down here now. They do have some lap cars coming up in front of them. There's a little bit of traffic. It might affect how this race is going here right now if those cars do hold them up. Of course, Milan is right on the tail of Nude Potato as well, chasing him down. So it's a pretty good fight going on for P1. For most of this race, I have to say, these guys have been battling it out. Changing position have been happening. Milan did start in P1. Beefy, I think, started P2. But they're really going at it here. Nude Potato was having just a little bit of look on the outside, but didn't have a gap to go on it as yet. Jay is now in the pits. Guys, this is a pretty decent battle happening here right now. I'm not sure who is going to come out in the next 7 to 8 laps in P1. Beefy currently holding at P1, but just about 3/10 behind him is Nude Potato. Does have DRS. So does Milan on Nude Potato going down this straight. Nude Potato did have just a little bit of a low gap, but not enough of a gap, and not too close, not actually close enough to go for a move on Beefy. Beaver is going to have to do some pretty good defending. Okay, so Nude Potato went on the outside going around. Going to have the inside going on the next turn here. Let's see who comes out. They do have contact, and oh man, that is Nude Potato losing some of his front wing, spinning there. Beefy still does hold P2. Milan still in, Beefy in P1, Milan in P2 going. And Nude Potato did have enough of a gap to still stay in front of T-Pang, who is currently in P4, but now only 7.2 seconds behind him. So there's going to be a serious fight for P1 basically coming down to the end of this race. Beefy did just build just a little bit of a gap off of Milan because of that incident that happened with Nude Potato just a few seconds ago actually. So Beefy now 3.5 seconds out in front. We are on lap 23 of 29. Just about 7 laps left to go here, guys. And has been a pretty exciting race coming all the way down here. on board Renewed Potato now. He is definitely trying to catch up back to Milan. Driving with a broken wing here, of course, guys. Got to give confidence to him because he is driving pretty well with that broken wing. I'm quite sure he's not going to change it. He's just going to be pushing it all the way to the end of the race here, just trying to keep it in front of T-Pan, who is now 10.7 seconds away from him. He can still see Milan out in the distance, out in front, just 2.6 seconds off his lead right now. But Beefy out in front on mediums. Both of these guys running behind him are running soft, so they do have an opportunity to catch up and go for a move here. But Beefy driving pretty good, you gotta say, on those mediums, keeping these guys behind him, because they are on fresh sauce, and if it's this hard for them to catch him, then you can tell how good this guy is driving. And Milan also a pretty good driver, usually out in front in P1 most of the races I've seen him, and he's in P2 right now, just trying to catch up back to Beefy before he runs out of laps here. Just about 5 laps left to go, guys. And he is going into the pits. He might have had some damage. Did seem to have just a little bit of end plate damage off that front wing. So not sure why Milan has pitted exactly, because his tires were fine. Or I'm not sure if that was a used set of softs and they couldn't go anymore. But he just took minor damage. I'm not sure how badly the damage was affecting his performance with the car, but he's not going to be way down in the grid. He's coming out. He is in P6. So Milan losing out on the fight for P1 now down to P6. Beefy is still holding that lead up in P1. New Potato still but 3.3 seconds behind of him. Pretty decent gap to Duncan behind Milan right now, 27 seconds. Let's go back up out in front. We got T-Pan running his own race right now, just about 15 seconds now to catch New Potato. If he can do it in the next 4 laps, we will see. Of course, the gap between Beefy and New Potato is kind of breaking down just a little bit now, 2.9 seconds. Let's see how well New Potato can catch Beefy. If he can do it, it'll be pretty interesting to see this happen. And Beefy started second, yeah, he did. So he gained 1 position. New Potato gained 2. T-Pound, an excellent race so far. I'm just trying to assume who the game is going to give driver of the day to, and it does look like it might be going to T-Pound. I don't know, because he gained 6th position in this race. I'm not sure what metrics the game is working on to pick the driver of the day in the game, but I'm assuming maybe who's gained the most positions on track or whatever, who's done a better race. But T-Town has drove a pretty insane race today, getting 6 positions up, the most from anyone else. Who's we have Barby and Jay, they both got 4. Milan has lost 4 positions here. Not so good for him. I'm not sure why he took that pit stop. That might have been a mistake. I'm not sure if he could have sticked it out until the end of the race, because we are on lap 26 going now, but Beef is still holding the lead out in front, but the gap is now down to 1.5 seconds. New Potato is catching him, but just by how much, and will there be enough time left in the race for him to go for a move coming down to the end for that P1, or will he just have to settle for P2 here? Of course, he doesn't want to compromise his race and take himself out or get in a tangle with BP and have them both be taken out of the race. That would just be catastrophic to have happen. Jonathan also gained 3 position. Good job driving from him. A mistaken use. He did get in 1 position, but he was out of the race. So let's see how this comes down to at the end. T-Pang tires are pretty old. I'm not sure he'll be able to catch New Potato, but he'll still be on the podium up there in P3. So if that does happen, I'm assuming T-Pang is going to get a driver of the day here. I'm not sure who you would vote for driver of the day. So far, if you've watched the entire race, guys, you can vote, and you can just say in the comment section if you want who you think the driver of the day should have been, or who, if you agree with this game at the end. Let's see what it comes to. We're getting pretty close now. Now the gap is now less than a second. I think we're going into the detection point here. And let's see if New Potato can actually get a move done on Beefy. This might be a pretty good battle going on. Let's see. That Red Bull is pretty fast. But Beefy is driving that Rhino out in front pretty well. New Potato, not a lot of ERS, just about 14-16%. Beefy has about 20 something percent. He has have a little more, both around the same gap now. So both guys are going to be trying to get as much distance between each other as they can here. But of course, New Potato trying to break the distance down, has DRS going. It's not close enough to get a move done on this occasion. Of course, this is the second to last lap. We're on lap 28 now. He only will have one lap after this one to try and get a move done. It'll be sensational if New Potato can actually get a move done on Beefy here. He is so close to him, but it's not easy to get an overtake move done in this game. Especially with drivers like this at this level, these guys are pretty good at it. So T-Pang, who looks like he'll be taking P3. Milan is up into P4 now. So he's running pretty well. 1.4 seconds off the lead of T-Pang in P3. Can he knock T-Pang out of P3? Let's see how close he is. He is pretty close. And he's running soft, so there might be a chance that Milan might end up back in the podium place on P3 here. So let's see how well this is going to go for him. Gap out in front pretty close. I'm not sure which battle to follow for us here, but let's see how this is going to go. We're going to keep a close eye on Milan and T-Pang as we go on along with Beefy and New Potato. Gap seems to be much closer here. And Milan is going for a move coming down into this section here. Does get the move done. Milan does move up into P3. T-Pang, those tires are pretty worn. Could not defend against that move. Had to let that one go. So he is now down to P4. But still a sensational drive from T-Pang. Good job on him for getting up at least 5 positions there now. Won't be 6 anymore, but he still might be getting driver of the day. Let's see. I'm really going to be interested to see who's going to be driver of the day here, because quite a few of these guys have drove a sensational race, and we got New Potato got past Beefy. So Beefy is now down P2. I'm not sure if he can get this back going into the last lap of the race. As we go around with New Potato out in front in that Red Bull right now. Beefy coming in the Red Bull down in second. 1.1 seconds is the gap. I'm not sure if he can be able to get this done by the end of the lap. He does have to make up quite a little bit of a gap here. And Beefy has absolutely no more overtake to use. It is done. So does New Potato. Neither of these guys have any overtake left, so it's going to be interesting to see. It's an even playing field now, except when Beefy gets DRS going on the New Potato. We're going to see how that one comes out. And that's New Potato coming around the last corner now, coming across the finish line down there, and that is P1 for New Potato. Excellent race from him. Beefy is P2. We have Milan coming down about 25 seconds behind these guys. He's going to be in P3. Of course, guys, remember these guys have penalties, so let's see how this plays out down at the end, if it does change position as everyone else comes across the finish line. Yeah, that was a pretty good race there, Gaming Guru. Pretty good race from these guys out in front. Excellent job for New Potato for getting that move done in the final last laps of the race. And there you go. So T-Pang was up into P3, then went down back to P4 because Jonathan is now down up into P3. So this is how positions change. So which means Milan got quite a few penalties in this race. So let's wait for the final table and let's see how it goes, because Milan was supposed to be finishing P3. So this is what happens, guys. This is Formula 1. This is how it goes. Penalties do affect your race so much that you really have to avoid them. So New Potato is going to be taking P1. Beefy takes P2. As it stands, Jonathan is in P3. But let's wait for the final table and we will read that out as we go. That was an excellent first race of the season. Driver of the day, T-Pang, and I was right on that one. I got that one correct. So congratulations to T-Pang for driver of the day, and congratulations to yep, he does have it, and that's pretty interesting dance from him in this character. And there you have it, guys. So that is P1 for New Potato. Great job on T-Pang for that drive. Gained 5 positions up. Was going. And let's see how well they finished down at the end result table here. Yes, so here we go, guys. Positions at the end of the race. New Potato is P1. Got 3 penalties though. Beefy also have 3 penalties, so they even each other out. That was excellent to see that happen. Because if it was different, it would have been a whole new race for us there. So New Potato P1, Beefy P2, Jonathan P3, T-Pang P4, Milan P5, Batterbees P6, JP7, Duncan P8, Matt Riley's P9, Artemis P10, MX didn't finish the race, P11, Mistaken You did not finish as well, P12, and CB did not get to finish, P13. So our top 10 guys will be getting points here. And there are the penalties flashing as you see them for the next 2 seconds. And that is it, guys. Fastest lap goes to Matt Riley, I think, there. That was an excellent race. I really enjoyed watching that race. I hope everyone enjoyed watching it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because we will be streaming all the races for this season, for this league. Every single race will be streamed here from qualifying down to the end of the last lap. And Gaming Guru has just confirmed with me we will offer a prize for 4th place and driver of the day. So for the driver of the day and for the guy in P1, New Potato, they will be getting something, compliments of Gaming Guru, the official sponsor for All Stars Racing F1 League. So thanks very much to them, and thanks to everyone who drove. Pretty good race. That's gonna be it for today, guys. See you next week when we go to Bahrain, which should be a pretty interesting night race there. I love that track, so look forward to that one.